Hey you guys, I'm going to show you my compost situation. So right here you can see that's my fresh compost. That over there is the old compost that's already full and I'm letting that sit and break down. And this over here is scooped from my finished compost, which is back that way. And I'm going to sift that and show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay. I started this pile maybe a month ago, and this pile was finished off about that time. Maybe 2 months ago I stopped adding to that pile, and so that's like 2 to 6 months old. And then this pile is older than that, probably a year and a half to 8 months old. I was making that stuff. Okay, so if we look at the fresh material, you can look what I put in my compost pile. And when I construct these, that's just a ring of chicken wire. I just wrap it in a circle, and then I twist the wires together so it holds together, and I set it on the ground. I actually get a couple little bent pieces of wire, and they're kind of like giant staples, and they stick in the ground and hold the chicken wire down so it doesn't fall over. And then I just fill them up, and then I let them sit. And when I'm all done, I actually can just grab this chicken wire and just pull the whole thing up, and all the compost falls out. That's what I'm going to do with this one in a couple more months. But if you look in here, you can see the stuff that I got. These are some weeds from the garden. These are some corn stalks. I do put some paper in the compost pile. This was like packing paper. If it looks like it's going to break down pretty easy, I'll throw it in there. And then if you look down in there, you can see all kinds of gross stuff. There's banana peels, there's rotten pears, there's an old onion, avocado pits and skins, you know, just all of that organic kitchen waste from the kitchen. I don't put any of that in the trash. That all goes in the compost, okay? And usually when I dump stuff, I'll make a hole like this, and then I have my little bucket from the kitchen, and I'll dump it in the hole, and then I'll cover that up with all this stuff so that the animals and the flies don't get to it. And then the pile just stays nice and clean, and it just all breaks down. And then when I have another batch to dump in there, I will just make a hole like so and dump it in there, and then cover it back over. So like I said, that's the middle pile. You can see there's still a bunch of weeds and stuff that haven't broken down. When I made this pile, there was I was eating a lot of shellfish. I was going and getting mussels and digging for clams and stuff. So there's a bunch of those shells in there. That's some good minerals for the garden. And then this is my oldest pile. The pile was over there, but this is the stuff that I've been scooping out of. And you can see it's pretty broken down except for a few plant roots. Look, see, there's a fruit tag. That's actually trash. That doesn't decompose. Put that in my pocket. And, you know, chicken bone, right? Piece of charcoal. I do put ashes in the compost sometimes, and the charcoal gets in there, right? Whole bunch of that stuff. And that, I throw that in my fresh compost, and it gets to go through the cycle again, and most of it'll decompose. Now, what I do is I put this stuff through the sifter, and what comes out is this beautiful material right here. This is pretty much finished compost. The only particles that you'll see in here are bits of charcoal, which aren't bad at all. Those are really good for the garden. And then most of these white dots right here is eggshell. So the eggshell doesn't break down so fast. It takes a long time. So it's kind of like a slow release calcium fertilizer for the garden, which is great. So this stuff is ready to go right in the garden. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's my compost system.